Chapter 11. Today Giancarlo's heart kept on skipping beats as he rode an empty boxcar of a freight train leaving Commerce Crossings. He remembered viewing Moria's and his two daughters at play in their backyard. He felt heartbroken. His destination unknown, a tremulous sense of incompleteness filled him. He harbored regrets over having left Moria behind without as much as a promise to write a letter home to her. They say that time heals all wounds. He wanted to believe so. Couldn't bring himself to do it. At the bottom of it all he realized that he alone was the one at the root of his marital troubles. His overindulgences had brought such tremendous pressure into their relationship that it caused Moria to leave him for Nick Delmonico. The whistle of the locomotive pierced the black night. Steel rails emitted skirling noises, sharp, scintillating, while the train's steel wheels continually rolled forward over parallel steel paths with the rhythmic beat of a blues tune. Giancarlo looked down at his feet. He told himself, let go of your longings. Divest yourself of all misgivings. Disappear as quietly and as unobtrusively as melting snow. And next, stand close to the open doorway. Then jump. His coat flew open, flapped behind him as he sailed toward the ground. The first things he met were a chain-link fence wet with dew and three snarling Dobermans at the border between Mexico and the United States. With his nose pointed in a direction that seemed best suited to a man intent upon seeking to find himself, he continued southward into Mexico, then into Central America and, finally, Costa Rica. On Manuel Antonio Beach sunshine fell on his face. It caused the corners of Giancarlo's mouth to turn upward in a tiny smile. A slight subtropical breeze disheveled his hair. What marvelous featherweight simplicity bucking up under the balmy weight of self-acceptance. His bare feet strode one after the other on wet sand. No longer did the demands of his inner voice, his conscience habitually echo fishbones, and booger up his thinking. Slowly, unintelligibly his recollections of Moria pinning a wash to the clothesline in their backyard faded far to the back of his mind. He knew that the twins were safe and okay, and for him their well-being mattered more than anything else. He neither loved Nick or Moria Delmonico, nor did he hate them. Despite his previous overindulgent trespasses, no nightmares about them any longer caused him rancor. He flopped flat onto his back on the sand and smiled to himself now that the melodrama of his life had played out and left him enjoying the present moment. His journey of finding himself at long last nearly ended. Giancarlo rode home to Moria telling about it, opening up to her like a stream pouring into a river, especially about how he'd forced himself away from the table of guilt where fish bones were his appetizer, his entree, and his dessert, and, most importantly, how he'd gotten out from in the shadow of his father and also the complexity of society in and around Commerce Crossings. Moria then wrote back to him in a letter dated July 18, 1994, I can tell you your worth to me, although I am surprised you did not define it yourself earlier. Have you ever viewed yourself as a puzzle pieced together slowly as you'd experienced and searched and stumbled through the days of your life? I'd found the last piece of my puzzle fall into place when I'd found you. You are the most central and integral piece in my puzzle, the one that had caused my life to come together as a complete picture. Can you imagine what it looks like? If, as you'd written, you think me remarkable, then so too are you. You are intelligent and talented, warm and sincere, compassionate and thoughtful, and wise. How do I know that you own these qualities? Ask yourself, how does a tree know when to bud? How does a flower know when to bloom? I'd loved you when you'd sat pensive in front of me. I'd loved you when we'd made love. I'd loved you when we'd sat side by side and talked. I'd loved you when we'd worked together around the house. I'd loved you when you'd listened while I'd rambled on with opinions and convictions and airy thoughts, and I'd done likewise in relation to your own. I'd loved you in an all-encompassing way and always shall love you. You'd given me my freedom to become my own person, at peace with myself and also with you. Giancarlo digested it thoroughly and completely. Thereafter, his fears as had been caused by his regrets over having disrespected Moria's integrity disappeared into the abyss of injured pride.